Tim, I didn't expect you to be the one delivering my pizza.
Yeah, hey Kyle. Yeah, this is awkward.
You could say that. You didn't see my name on the ticket?
You know, I get the address and a phone number, and the type of pizza in case there's an issue. And well, I mean, of course, the pizza. It's, you probably don't actually care about the inner workings of the pizza delivery industry, do you?
So, how's...
Oh, good. I've been going on 2 years now, but yeah, things are well.
Good. I actually saw y'all at a show last year.
Really? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you. I guess we were kind of caught up in the moment.
Yeah, I figured as much.
We probably have some unfinished business, for lack of a better term.
You could say that. I'd invite you to stay, but I'm sure you have other pizzas to deliver.
Oh, I can stay. I mean, you have a pizza ready to be eaten right now, and I don't actually work there anyways. What's up, everyone? I am Tim Oates on bass, and it may seem like Kyle and I are having a really awkward conversation because I started dating his ex-girlfriend, but it's actually way worse. He used to be the bass player in Burden Affinity, and I am his replacement.
Let yourself in, Tim.
Hi, everyone. I'm sitting down with Kyle, who, just so you know, despite the little intro that we did, there's actually nothing awkward. Yes, it is true that he was the original bass player for Burden Affinity and I am his replacement, but not awkward at all. In fact, we're really good friends. We text, feels like almost every day.
I would say close to every day.
Early on in BA, I actually went to you a lot for just advice on different songs as I was learning them and trying to understand different pieces. You would come to shows a lot and actually give feedback on the performance and things like that, which was actually really helpful. So publicly, I'd like to say for the world to know, thank you for being such a supportive.
Oh, absolutely.
Replacee, is that the word? If I'm the replacement, you're the replacee?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Why did you leave Burden Affinity?
Well, I have a now 4-year-old, a 2-year-old at the time, and I was in several bands, and it became difficult to allocate time to everything. BA is a demanding mistress.
You don't say.
And out of everything that I had going on, it was probably the easiest thing to let go of because it freed up the most time by taking that out.
Obviously, I knew that, but for the world out there that might be going, wow, this really could be awkward. And to be honest, we've known bands that have had falling outs and the replacement, and it kind of sometimes does feel like that. Oh, you're with my ex.
Yeah.
It can get weird sometimes.
I've been in those bands.
You and me as bass players, we actually do have very different styles, just in terms of how we approach things. But the one song that I really was trying to be as true to the record as I could be was Bad Decisions. Mm-hmm. And I thought I was, until we started talking about this video and knowing that we were gonna get together, and I realized, and you pointed out to me that I'm playing way different than you are from the album, and I was trying to stay true.
When you sent me the tab, you're like, here it is. We're like, there's what? At least for me, coming from being a guitar player, I was trying to lock in rhythmically, find my moments to do something melodically, and trying my best to not just duplicate the rhythm guitar, because as a guitar player, that's my instinct.
Why don't we dive into the actual song itself? I'm just curious how different we're doing it. So with the intro, I think we're actually playing this the same way, where it's literally just D sharp and then C sharp, locked in to the kick drum. That's how I do it. I'm pretty sure that's how you're doing it as well, right?
It is. As a matter of fact, we had to go through and spend a rehearsal of just Justice and I going through and mapping out all of the kick drums. So yeah, if you stay locked into the kick drum on the intro, you've got that far correct.
Okay. Excellent. Now, what about there's a fill that kind of acts as a transition from the intro into the verse.
Yeah. So what I actually do is it's almost the exact same notes that I use during the verse that goes like this. Kind of hangs on this a little bit because where the resolve should be is the chord change.
See, that's interesting. So I heard that and I thought I got that spot on, but it's a little different, but it's the same idea. So what I'm doing is I'm holding on the actual note of the chord. I'm holding on the C sharp, that then the change is going to go to the D sharp.
Yeah, I'm on a third before the D sharp.
Which I'm hitting in my line because I'm going minor third, second, seventh in relation to the D sharp.
Yeah. So in relation to the D sharp, I'm hitting the third, which relation to the C sharp would be a fourth. So I'm hitting the fourth of the C sharp, letting it kind of hang there, and then resolving to the one of the next chord.
Which is actually a good tension point.
Yeah.
For the verse, I'm keeping the same pattern as the intro of I'm just kind of locking into the kick drum. I'm literally just and all of this rhythm is purely just whatever the bass drum's doing.
Yeah.
I'm just watching a leg on the bass drum just go up and down and just hitting on the downs. It sounds like you're doing considerably more. So what exactly are you doing in the verse?
I don't know if I would say considerably more. I'm doing more. What I found is that this song lent itself to a nice opportunity to add a little bit of color and walk this nice line between staying in with the drums, playing something melodic but still along with the chord changes, and matching the cadence but not the notes of at least the first half of the verse. It gave me an opportunity to kind of walk among all three things, and I'm not doing a lot. Like I was able to do very little, but I feel like it does a lot for the piece, and it's part of why I'm so proud of the bass line in this particular song.
By itself, it's not considerably more, but the piece itself is so airy and so has so much space that I would say it actually does add quite a bit.
I was like, what would Mike Inez do? And I felt like I was at least adapting some of that a little bit. I was adding some color. I wasn't matching the guitar changes exactly. The guitar kind of arpeggiates a power chord, but then goes up to a third, a second, and then resolves at just the power chord. So every time the guitar is moving, I'm moving as well, but not moving to the same positions that the guitar is moving.
So you're creating a little bit of a counter melody.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the chorus.
Okay.
Because the chorus, I think we both play pretty simply, but I think we might accent different things. So with that one, I'm falling off of locking into the bass drum completely. But what I do is I actually lock into a couple of things that Tony's doing on the guitar and try to accent those. But I think you're accenting something different in there, aren't you?
Well, I stick directly to the root notes of D sharp and C, but I kind of fall back to locking in with the drums as a whole. I'm not necessarily just locking in with the kick drum, but I am my right hand is very much doing what the drums are doing.
So here's what I'm doing. Right on the root note, and then I slide up. And the reason I slide is because Tony does a slide.
Yeah.
So that's one of the pieces that I accent with Tony. And then those little octave hits, Tony's doing a thing where he's playing the chords, but then he's hitting kind of a trebly, like, higher note. I try to lock in specifically with those to kind of accent when he's going up.
I think mine, it's harder to do this part without drums, but I'm gonna try, so. So I'm not just hitting where the kick is, but I'm also hitting with the snare. I'm really just matching the drum beat entirely. As a matter of fact, I think there's even a part where he's doing this thing where he's hitting the kick and the crash at the same time, and it's a little kind of dramatic flair. And I'm doing those exact same hits with him.
It's kind of the same concept, except you're focused on the drums, I'm focused on the guitar.
Yeah.
I think we play the bridge the same way, although I do use distortion. When I play it live. I don't think you do any distortion, right?
I don't do any distortion on this song.
This is how I play the bridge, with distortion, of course.
That was a part where drums and guitar had already kind of lock in together to some extent, and there's so much movement in the guitar. There's not a lot of room for the bass to do anything all that extravagantly different.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing that I noticed different as well is I'm doing a bend and release. So. And you're actually doing a hammer-on pull-off.
Yeah, I found that a lot of times, especially playing so close to the first position, much hand as I got going on, a full step or a half step bend can be a lot in that first position.
Definitely.
So I decided it would be better to just kind of do the hammer-on.
For the next chorus, it's an extended chorus where it goes through 3 times instead of 2. And I do know that we play the same fill on the 3rd time.
Yeah, I think same exact notes. I think you're giving it more counts than I am. That's not the word I want to use. You're giving it more beats than I am, maybe. Okay. The value with which you're hitting it is different. I'm just doing a kind of.
From a note perspective, you're matching Tony.
Yes.
But I'm locked into Tony.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big distinction, is matching and locking in. Sounds like it could be the same thing, but for anyone that doesn't have a lot of experience, like someone kind of new just learning it, they're actually worlds apart sometimes.
Yeah. I think that might even fall back to where, from a perspective of notes, I'm doing the same thing as Tony, but I think I might be playing more akin to what the drums are doing.
Yep.
So the biggest thing with the outro is that because it's kind of a slower BPM song, and we do whole notes for a couple of cycles, Justice had to start doing hi-hat hits. Because when something is so slow and you're doing whole notes, it's very easy for your mind to start to wander. Did I leave the iron on?
Right. Yeah, it definitely, I'll say that those whole note sections, and really I think they're longer, but I think they're like 3 or 4 whole notes strung together, because you're just kind of just holding for what feels like 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
But when you're playing live, it's actually one of the more difficult parts of the song, because the precision of the band hitting those notes together is so critically important that if one person in the band is off, it throws the whole song off. Pretty much like the whole song, but there's so many dynamics in there, and
there's so much going on there in terms of layering. There's not a lot going on in terms of virtuoso playing, but there's so much going on to build a mood.
Yeah, and I think that's very indicative of BA in general. There's a lot of talented players in BA, but it's not often that somebody's going off and just ripping it up completely. There's moments, there's sections, there's the occasional solos that get in there, but it's really more the songwriting and the way all of the talent is layered on top of each other. I feel a lot better about Bad Decisions, even though I'm playing stuff differently, are reasons I think make sense, and both versions of what we're playing probably jive completely well with the song. It's just different context for different players during different eras of the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of that stuff. I think if something's going to change hands, it should be organic. It should grow.
Thanks so much for joining me, Kyle. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Make sure you give this video a like if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, give it a like as well. Why not? Drop some comments. Let us know if you prefer the way I play Bad Decisions or the way Kyle plays Bad Decisions. I'm probably going to drop a comment saying I like Kyle's way because he wrote it. But I'm still not going to change how I do it because I'm old and I don't go into change very easily. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the little bell. That's how you get notified when I drop new videos just like this one. You keep making beautiful music, and I will see you in the next video.